Alright guys, Uncharted is the topic of this entire video. But obviously, this isn't Uncharted, this is The Last of Us, and I thought, if we're going to talk about a Naughty Dog game, I may as well use another Naughty Dog game, The Last of Us. Now, before we start anything, this is from months ago. This match is from, I could almost say centuries ago. It's that old. It really is. Like, I just pulled it out of my PlayStation, had this project sitting here in SHAREfactory for ages, and I finally decided, yeah, time to use it now. So obviously, here we are, we're using it. Now, last video I said, I needed to check if anyone still played Uncharted 3 multiplayer, or any of the Uncharted games. I checked Uncharted 3 first because I started the campaign again, because to be honest, I really love Uncharted 3's campaign. To be honest, like Uncharted 2's campaign's sick, especially the whole back and forth between Chloe and Elena and Lazarevich. He's just a brutal villain, especially that final boss fight. But I don't know, just something about Uncharted 3, like the Lawrence of Arabia kind of feel to it, because obviously it does even feature as like a prominent plot point, Lawrence of Arabia. And I just like the whole Arabian, Middle Eastern feel with the game. But anyway, I checked the multiplayer first for Uncharted 3, and yes, there are still people playing that game. Believe it or not, there are still people playing the multiplayer. Because to be honest, I've played it. I played a couple rounds of TDM because that's all I could find. And it's a sick multiplayer. It's a good third person shooter. It's almost like, if I could describe it in any other way to someone who doesn't really own a PlayStation, it's almost like a good third person shooter mixture between loadout in a sense, because there is quite a lot of verticality on a map. And obviously, because of Uncharted's game mechanics, if you've played the game, you'll be climbing. On some maps, you'll even be swimming in parts around the map. But you'll maybe be climbing, jumping, rolling. But it's also a mixture, I would say, Mass Effect, like the cover-based system it has. I'd say it's quite similar. I'm not gonna say Uncharted has a better cover system. I actually think Mass Effect has a better cover system, but it's almost like a mix of the two. It's got its own theme, where it's got like the mobility and the verticality of Loadout, even though Uncharted is an older game than Loadout. I'm just using these two games to describe how it plays. So it's got the verticality of Loadout, but at the same time, it's got like the cover-based system of Mass Effect. Now, I think I've said this before, and if this is just really a testament to how bad my memory can be at times, but so far all I found is TDM. Those are the only matches I have been able to find. I tried looking at one more game mode, and people, I haven't found anything yet. So far all I can see is people play TDM, that's about it. But even then, it's still a fun game mode. It's actually, I would say for the most part, it's balanced. However, there are one or two mechanics in the game that do try to balance out a match. Say if a team just starts to dominate a match, however, it doesn't necessarily work, because if you're a dominating team, the whole team play, or whatever it's called, it just doesn't really work. Basically, if a team's falling behind, they'll be given something called a power play, which means they like either all the enemy all the enemy team becomes visible on their maps, like their name just appears through objects and walls and appears at large distances, so you can basically track your enemies, or kill it, or one player on the enemy team gets marked as a VIP, and killing him gives you, I think it's like extra points for kills, but they're just constantly marked. But in some matches that I've played, the power plays have never really worked. Sometimes I've been on the winning team where we've just been able to continue steamrolling our opposition. Sometimes I've been on the losing team and the power play, it hasn't really been effective in pulling us back into the match. Because obviously if you have momentum, you're gonna eventually come to a point of being unstoppable. But anyway, Uncharted's multiplayer is sick, and so yeah, Uncharted multiplayer TDM is officially a go now. I just gotta go on tonight, record 1-2 matches. Now I will say this, I am fairly rusty at it, for multiple reasons. Obviously, there are other people who have played Uncharted 3 multiplayer religiously, like they have hardly played any other game, they have simply gone to town on this game. And it really shows. They can easily steamroll me. A lot of the players I come across are level 75 because that's the highest level you can be, or they around level 60, level 50. I've seen some level 20s, level 30s, some level 10s, but generally they would just steamroll me in 7 out of 10 matches that I play. 7 out of 10 matches, the odds are against me. However, I have played today and I actually found that I was going okay. That the odds were actually going in my favour. I was mainly on the winning team for most of the matches I played, or 1 or 2 matches I actually had a sick game. So obviously you have to bear with me as we're basically going through a teething process here. Hopefully if I play this for 7 months without rest, I'll just become like a Terminator essentially, just walking around the map, not even hesitating to pull the trigger whenever I see an enemy pop up on the screen. You know, just walk around the corner, do that whole Terminator 1 thing where he's just in the police station, he just sprays down all the people. That would just be me, but except for me being an actual machine with epic 80 shades and a sick catchphrase, I'll just be a madman with an AK-47, just hip firing because I am insane. And yeah. Anyway, one other thing I wanted to talk about was Uncharted 4. Now, I've already seen the reveal trailer that was presented at E3 2014, and it was sick. But 2 nights ago, I actually watched a demo, an official demo. It wasn't put up by PlayStation or anyone like that, but it's an official demo, I can tell. And oh my god, does it look amazing. Graphically, it looks amazing. Gameplay, it looks even more smooth and even more fluid than Uncharted 3 was. The mechanics of fighting kind of have to look to be changed, but this we will have to talk about another time as we've ended the match. I will go now, I'll record some Uncharted 3 gameplay and we can talk more about Uncharted for a Thief's End there. But until then, that is the end of the match, and I will see you on Uncharted 3. Adios.